not move from Chicago into the suburbs without watching this video first. How do I know what it's like to move from Chicago to the suburbs? I did it. In 2018, I moved with my husband to Downers Grove from Lakeview, and I was pregnant with my first kid then. And since then, we've had 3 more. We still live in Downers Grove, and we are in our second home now. As a realtor who serves the Chicagoland area, I have found that there are some things that when people move from the city to the suburbs, they just get it wrong. They don't understand. So I'm going to go over those 3 things that I think you need to know when you're moving to the suburbs from the city. The first one I want to get out of the way is that you don't need to live in a downtown location. And I know it sounds more exciting if you live in a town that has a fun downtown, that you could be walk to town and walk to restaurants. But the part of it that people who live in the city get wrong is the walk to. The suburbs is just a different animal than the city. When you're walking somewhere, think about the winter. In the city, walking in front of businesses, so all the sidewalks are clear and nice. In the suburbs, you're walking in front of people's residence, so sometimes they don't shovel ever. So you're not having like as pleasant of a walk. So when you're walking to downtown, even if you're just a mile or less away, it's just like not the same experience as walking in the city. Now, I'm going to flip this one for you. And number 2 is that I actually do think people coming from the city have a much easier time and a much easier transition when they pick a downtown that is pretty lively. And what I mean is like pick a town that has a lively downtown attached to it. So Downers Grove, Wheaton, Naperville, those towns all have fun restaurants. They all have like fun downtown scenes. They do music in the park, the farmer's market. Like there's always something going on. I think people who move from the city to the suburbs think that the suburbs is pretty boring, when really it's like the towns that you plug into can provide you with so much to do. So I would look for a town that has like an active downtown scene and like an active park district and things that like you can sign up for and do. And I think that will make the transition from the city to the suburbs life way more smooth. The last thing I want to make sure you know is that your conveniences will change. Like what you consider is a need for convenience, that will change. For instance, I was really used to being able to walk to a grocery store when I lived in Lakeview. I thought the world was ending when I couldn't just like hop across the street and grab some milk whenever we were out of milk. But what you will want for a convenience is just going to change. For instance, now I just do grocery pickup. So I don't even need to walk into a grocery store because I'm just driving up and they're putting it in my car. So what your non-negotiable conveniences are right now in the city, that is because you have a city lifestyle. But once you're integrated into this like suburbs life, like your priorities are totally going to change. So just be open to that and don't let your lifestyle in the city dictate the type of lifestyle you're going to have in the suburbs. So that is it. Those are the 3 things that you need to strongly consider when you're making the move from Chicago to the suburbs. How do I know? Well, I did it myself, and I'm also a licensed realtor, so I help people do this all the time. Actually, my favorite thing to do is move people out of the city and into the suburbs. I actually came into the suburbs like kicking and screaming. I thought I would live in the city my whole adult life, but I have seen the light, and the suburbs is where it's at, and I'm excited to bring you here with me. If you like this video, subscribe because more like this are coming your way.